You know that feeling when you just cleaned, but somehow the floors are already covered in crumbs, pet hair, and dust by the end of the day? I used to feel like I was constantly chasing messes, vacuuming over and over just to keep up. But then I made one small change that keeps my floors effortlessly clean every single day without me having to lift a finger. It's been a total game changer, and today I'm sharing exactly how I do it. In my Simple Homemaking System, my morning tasks stay the same every single day. Every morning I make my bed, start my robot vacuum and bread maker, check my meal plan, and take anything out for dinner to thaw or prep ahead. I also get the laundry going, or remind whichever kid's turn it is, and I have the kids unload the dishwasher. These routines keep my home running smoothly without feeling overwhelming. But instead of walking you through all of them today, I want to highlight just one that makes a huge difference: using my robot vacuum daily. Running my Roomba every day is one of the easiest ways to maintain a consistently clean home. It saves me time, reduces dust and allergens, and it means I only need to deep vacuum about once a month, unless there's a big mess. Plus, with kids and a dog running around, crumbs, pet hair, and dirt build up fast. And this little helper makes sure my floors always feel fresh. And let's be honest, a clean floor instantly makes the whole house feel tidier and more put together. I only bought this Roomba last summer, and it has been a game changer. I had wanted one for a while, but they always seemed out of my price range. Then I did some research and found this one. It had great reviews and was actually affordable, and it works really well. Some models can get really pricey, but this one fit my budget and does an amazing job. I've linked it down in the description if you want to check it out. Just look at how much it picks up in just one day. It also does a fantastic job getting under the couches and beds, which saves me from having to clean under them as often. Now that the Roomba is doing its job, let's get into today's specific tasks from my chart. Here's what I'm tackling today. I'm cleaning the freezers and extra fridge, cleaning the pantry and cold room, cleaning just one window, making magnesium water, and making a grocery list for tomorrow. First thing I'm doing is heading out to the garage where 2 freezers live, and I'm just taking a minute to get things reorganized in here and just take an inventory of what I have and get things rearranged and put back where they normally go. And then I'm going to grab some all-purpose cleaner and just give the outside a quick wipe down. The inside is clean right now, so that doesn't need done. So I'm just taking a minute to wipe down the outside and make sure it's clean. This other freezer doesn't look too bad. There's just a few packages of hamburger that I need to put down in the bottom basket where they go. And this freezer is not overly full right now, but today is grocery list making day, so it's a great time to come and see, what you need and then add it to your list. Now I am down in the basement where our extra fridge is, and I'm just taking the opportunity to clean the top of it and the outside of it, and then also wiping down anything inside and rearranging the contents, and also taking the opportunity to see what I have and what I need to get more of, and making sure the outside is nice and polished. Now I'm in our cold room, and I'm putting away some things that didn't get put away last time, and I'm also going to put away some canning jars. I keep a step stool in here so that I can very easily and quickly get into the top shelves. And then this is a good opportunity to take an inventory of what I have and what I need. I'm also going to bring some jugs of vinegar upstairs because I need some up there in the laundry room because that's what I use as my fabric softener. Now I'm just taking my stick vac and doing a quick vacuum in here just to keep the floor tidy, because I keep the garlic there in a bag, and so sometimes things will fall out of that bag onto the floor. So I just take a minute to do a quick vacuum and get this space tidied up. And then I just take an inventory of what I have in here and what I need, and then I can add that to my grocery list for tomorrow. Now I'm just on the other side of our pantry in the basement where we keep all of the overflow items, and I'm just looking in my totes there to see what spices and things I might need. And we keep a microwave down here because we don't use it very often, and this is where our den is, where we have our TV, and so the kids watch movies there, and so they do microwave popcorn, and that is why the microwave is down here. So I'm just taking a minute to wipe out the microwave and get that cleaned up while I'm down here and tidied up. The kids do keep this clean as a part of their regular rotating kitchen jobs, but I also like to do this once a month when I'm down here and just make sure that it's nice and clean. Today I'm cleaning one window, and today I'm actually going to remove this screen and I'm going to show you the process for cleaning that, and then I'm going to clean the windowsill and the window. So most screens just have little things that you kind of pull these tabs out on one side and then the other side, and it just pops out really simply. And you can see, I don't know how well it's going to show on camera, but how dirty this is. So I'm going to carry this to the bathtub and show you how I clean it. I've put the screen into the bathtub, and now I'm going to turn on my shower head and get it sprayed off to start with. And now that it's wet and I've rinsed off some of the dust, I'm going to go ahead and get it all sprayed with some Dawn Power Wash. And then I'm going to take one of the scrub brushes, and I'm just going to very lightly scrub on the screen. And then I'm going to get the shower turned back on, and I like to do this with hot water. And I'm going to see if I can't show you all of the water. Look how dirty that water is that's rinsing out of the screen. It's absolutely disgusting. So it's nice to do this on the windows with the screens, and as you just go around, you eventually get all of them clean. And then I will go ahead and let this sit in the tub and dry while I'm cleaning the window. To start with, I am going to clean this windowsill, and I'm going to show you more of a close-up today. Because these are wood windows, I like to use this Rustic Touch because it's a great cleaner and also wood conditioner. And so what I'm going to do is spray this all over the windowsill. And some of it gets on the glass, and that's why I clean the glass afterward. So now that that's sprayed all over, I'm going to use an old toothbrush and then just an old rag and clean this windowsill. So after I've gotten everything loosened and scrubbed with the toothbrush, then I like to go in and with my cloth and get everything wiped clean. So if you have vinyl windows, then go ahead and just use like an all-purpose cleaner, and then also like a scrub brush and either paper towels or a rag. So just use whatever works best for the type of window that you have. So now that the windowsill is all cleaned, we will go ahead and clean the glass. And then after the screen is dry, we will pop that back in. I like to clean the glass after I clean the windowsill because of that Rustic Touch. Some of it got on the glass. So I'm going to spray some clear power all over the glass. And then I've got my cleaning cloth, and we're going to go ahead and get this all scrubbed. And then I've got a dry polishing cloth, and we're going to get this all polished. And if you live somewhere where it's warmer and nicer and you're able to get outside and clean the outside of the windows, then feel free to do that, because if I could, I would be cleaning the outside of the window as well. It's still just way too cold and doesn't make sense to tackle that until it warms up more. I let the screen sit in the bathtub until it was dry, and it's dry now, so we're going to go ahead and put it back in the window. And you just need to put it back in the place that it goes, and then just pull out the tab until it locks into the little hole that it goes in. And that's all there is to it. And that window is clean. I've had quite a few questions about the magnesium bicarbonate that I make, and so I just thought I would show you how I do that a second, and I'll bring you into for a closer look while I do this. So the first thing I do is just gather all of my supplies. I've got my SodaStream. I've got 2 bottles of distilled water in my SodaStream bottles that I have chilled already. Then I have a half-gallon glass mason jar with a lid that screws onto these. Then I've got a jar that I've put my magnesium hydroxide powder into. And then I've got everything, so I'm ready to start. So I start just by carbonating my distilled water. And I pull that out, and then I just keep a half teaspoon measuring spoon in here with my magnesium hydroxide powder, and I go ahead and put that into the bottle, and I shake this up, and I'm going to go ahead and let that sit here and do the other one. And same thing with this. Put a half a teaspoon of powder in, put the lid on, shake it up, and then I'm going to put the lid back on my magnesium hydroxide and set this aside. And then what I do is I take my big mason jar and I give another shake to this. It's very carbonated. And I go ahead and pour this into the glass jar. And both of these SodaStream bottles fit into the glass mason jar. And then I just lightly set this lid on. I don't screw it on because you want this to do the reaction and you want this to actually go flat. So usually after about 24 hours, it's done, and then I'll go ahead and screw the lid on. So right now I've got another jar in the fridge that's already flat, and that's the one we're drinking, and then this one will be ready in 24 hours to drink. And that's all there is to it. This is not medical advice at all. I just wanted to share with you why this is on the chart, and if you want to remove it, feel free to do that because the chart is customizable. I have printed out my grocery list, and I've gone through the freezers and the pantry, and I have highlighted what I need tomorrow, and I've also written the quantity down of what I need, and so I'm ready to go shopping tomorrow. Now I'm going over to my chart and crossing everything off that I've gotten done today. It feels so good to get stuff done. Having a simple system like this means I never feel like I have to do everything at once. A little each day keeps my home clean without the overwhelm. Before I wrap up for the night, I do a few quick resets so tomorrow starts off smooth and stress-free. Sorting the mail and papers, doing a 5-minute tidy in the kitchen, clearing the counters, making sure the sink is empty, starting the dishwasher, wiping down the counters, and setting the coffee maker for the morning. Taking just 5 to 10 minutes in the evening to reset my home makes all the difference when I wake up the next morning. And that's how my Simple Homemaking System works. Each day, I'll take you along as I walk through my focus tasks and share simple routines that make homemaking easier and more manageable. If you found this helpful, please share it with another mom who could use some practical homemaking tips. And don't forget to download the customizable weekly homemaking chart so you can follow along and make it your own. And if you're curious about the non-toxic cleaners I use in my home, check out the description. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What tasks did you complete today? Even if they're different from mine, I'd love to celebrate your wins with you. Tomorrow I'll be working on getting groceries, doing errands, going on any appointments, running through the car wash, and cleaning out my purse. If you missed any of the previous days in the homemaking system, you can catch up with this playlist. I'll see you tomorrow.